Good morning, everybody. Lee Brower here, and welcome to this week's edition of Meaningful Monday. I am grateful to be here, and I am glad to be here. You know, if you were going to invest now in your future best self, where would you put your time, energy, attention, and resources? There was a recent study done on millennials where they asked them the question, what do you consider to be your greatest and most important lifetime goal that will bring you happiness? And the number one respondent, 80% of the respondents said their number one choice was riches. They wanted to be rich. Those same respondents said that it was also very important, 50% of them said it was also very important to be famous. So rich and famous. So is that the solution to happiness and well-being? There's another study that has been going on for 75 years. 75 years with 724 adults. This was commissioned by Harvard, the Harvard School of Medicine. It's a study on adults. And what they've done is that they took half of the 724, they took them as sophomores from Harvard. They took the other half of the 724 and they came out of the poorest districts in Boston. And every year or every other year, they would meet with these groups of people and they would go into their homes. They would sit down with them. They would go in there and they would do medical examinations on them. They would do brain scans on them. They would do complete questionnaires. They would interview family members so they could get as much data as possible. Now imagine doing this for 75 years. What have they seen? Well, first of all, they've seen people come from the very poor areas and seen them to rise to the very top. They've seen others from the very top rise to the very bottom. They've seen the individuals rise up to be doctors, to be firemen, to become factory workers, every kind of category you can imagine. And so it's really given some insight. So what is it? What is it? If you could bring it down to one thing. So after 75 years of studying and comparing, say, what they were like at age 50, what they were like at age 25, to what they are like now in their 80s. And that number one thing, overwhelmingly, was not how much money they had, not how famous they were. Bottom line was that good relationships keep us happier and healthier. Number one. From that, they also learned three significant things. One, loneliness kills. Loneliness kills. So social relationships are important. But it's not the second thing. It's not the number of friends we have, but it's how committed we are in that relationship. And that's what I call STARS. Secure, trusting, attached relationships. Those relationships that won't leave you when the going gets tough. And we all need stars around us. We need stars that we can benefit from and that we can also benefit them. So good, warm relationships live longer and healthier. The third thing is it's also good for our brain. These stars are great for our brain. These secured, trusted, attached relationships make us brighter, smarter, and at the age 80, there's 60 of them, by the way, left in this survey, plus about 2,000 children. And so they've been able to follow them right along, and these are the happiest and the healthiest are the ones that get to the 80s and older. In fact, when they experience pain, their happiness doesn't even change. It's an amazing phenomenon. But just like the millennials in that recent survey, I'm sure that several of them thought that they needed to get fame and riches in order to be happy. But over and over again, we've been discovering that that's not the case. The ones that fared the best were the ones that leaned into their relationships with family, with friends, and community. So how do we do that? I mean, the possibilities are practically endless. It might be something as simple as replacing screen time with people time, or livening up a stale relationship by doing something new together, maybe long walks or date nights, or reaching out to that family member that you haven't spoken to in years, because those all too common family feuds take a terrible toll on people, especially those that hold grudges. So go back to the question. If you were going to invest now in your future best self, where would you invest your time, energy, attention, and resources, your tears? Ask yourself the question, who are the stars in your life? And what are you doing to enrich, enhance, protect, and replace those stars? Make this a meaningful week. Make it a star-filled week. I'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.